haven't you reached your goal yet? Why haven't you made it to that destination? Why have you not started fulfilling your dreams yet? What is holding you back? That's what I want to talk to you all about today. What's holding you back? Hello, everyone. I am Kim the SME. You are now listening to the KimUnity Soulutions podcast, the only podcast that turns workplace challenges into real-world, everyday solutions. Welcome, welcome. I am so glad to be with you all today. As I was going throughout the week, I was noticing in myself things that I have been reaching for and trying to attain, and thinking to myself, what's holding me back? And so today, my question to you is, what is holding you back? What is it? We can come up with so many excuses, so many reasons. While true, I'm not saying that they're stories. They are very well true. But should that be the reason you are not reaching your destination? You are not attaining your dream. You are not taking steps forward to fulfill those promises. What is it? We can say the economy. We can say we don't have the resources. But what do we have? That's the thing. We have to change how we think about where we're going. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, we have to think about what we do have. What resources do you have that you're not using right now? You don't have money to start the business? What do you have to sell? What have you spent your money on already? And I'm not saying that you've been living lavish, but we all have things that we no longer need. We all have things that we spent money on that maybe we shouldn't have at that moment, or now there's no need for it. Have you thought about letting that go? Have you thought about exchanging that? Have you thought about selling it? There's so many websites now, Poshmark, eBay, Amazon. What do you have? What is holding you back? This can be in your personal life. This can be in your professional life. You could be in a position right now and you and your manager are having challenges. Would you say that they're holding you back because you didn't get the promotion? Are you being held back? What you should be asking yourself is, what am I doing in the time that I am here? What am I doing in my current role? How am I preparing for my future? How am I preparing for that destination I'm trying to reach? What could I be doing right now to prepare myself and to propel myself into that future space? What's holding you back? Do you not have the equipment that you need? Maybe you want to cook. Maybe you want to chef out of your home. Or maybe at a restaurant, maybe you need to start at home. Are you giving samples out to the people around you? Are you giving samples out? Are you asking to cater at their functions? We have to start using the resources that we have. We cannot wait for a blessing or just a bag of money to just drop down out of the sky or onto our doorstep. We have to get connected and we have to start using our resources. And the connected part is very important. The connecting part. I am not one who really, truly likes to network, but I am beginning to enjoy it now. Once you start stepping out of your so-called comfort zone, and I hate to refer to it as a zone because you're already telling yourself that you are blocking yourself in. But once you start doing things that you haven't done before, it becomes easier. So while no, you may not like to network, but once you put yourself in that position and realize it's really just conversation and it's really just saying what you do and what you enjoy doing, it comes easy. It will be different if you're trying to sell something that you're not passionate about. That's how I see it. But now that I get into the networking spaces and I see that I'm only speaking about what I'm passionate about, which is what I do. See, that's the difference. Some people are doing something or they're creating a business based off of how much money they get out of it. But when you do it out of purpose, when you do it because that's something you truly enjoy and not because it's something that you heard you can make money off of, there's something different that attaches to that. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. I'm just saying that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing, I am passionate about. I enjoy it. And I am learning. And we are only at the beginning of the year, really. And I am seeing that networking paying off. And it's not that I am selling myself, but I am coming into contact with people who have what I need. It's about being resourceful. It's about collaborating. It's about not finding people who are doing the same thing you're doing, but something that complements what you're doing. Something that complements what you're doing. You can't find what you're looking for because you're not going out to go get it. You are waiting for it to come to you. And what I am saying is, and I am speaking from experience, is that you have to step out. You have to step out. You have to get prepared. You have to get ready. And you have to step out and tell people what you are doing and why you are doing it. Simon Sinek has a book called Start with Why. Why are you doing it? And I believe that the people who really have a why and have the passion, we're the ones who are really hesitant to step out. Because it's a big dream. It's a big idea. It's something so big that we know we can't do it by ourselves. And so we get stuck ruminating, thinking over and over again, okay, maybe if I do it this way, maybe if I do it that way. Okay, what if this doesn't happen? Instead of taking those small steps. You see, people who are just money driven, they will just jump out there. They will go out and get it. But when you have a passion for something, and it's something you believe is your purpose, we become more hesitant. But you can't do that. That's not how you get to your destination. What is holding you back? Maybe you want to start a podcast, but you don't have the equipment. Listen, you make phone calls every single day. You are talking to your friends and your coworkers and your family every single day. You have a phone, and I am positive that it takes pictures and it records. Use that to get started. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. I bought a stand. I put my phone on that stand and I pressed record. Now, I did start out with only audio, but I did record the video, but I only posted the audio. And so what's holding me back? I started it, but now I have all of these videos that I have not posted. Maybe you're a perfectionist. Maybe you want everything to be perfect before you put it out to the world. I thought I was a perfectionist. I've stopped giving myself those titles. Because once you start saying things like perfectionist or introvert, you feel a certain way when you say those words. So I don't say that anymore. But once I realized that I was holding back, I was actually doing what I say that I'm against. I say it's more about the message than the messenger. I say, and I believe that too many people are looking and are focused on what people wear and what they look like more than what comes out of their mouth and more than what they stand for. And so if I have that thought, if I truly believe that, why am I hesitant to put out these old videos? Because of how they look. I just said that my message is more important than the messenger. So that's one thing that's holding me back. Right? So yesterday I just posted an old video that I did, an old clip on YouTube, because I said the message is more important. And so what you have to do is you have to spend some time with yourself, being honest with yourself, saying, okay, this is where I'm trying to go. And I am saying this is why I can't get there. Think about why you're saying you can't get there. What is that excuse? What are you telling yourself? You see, that is the main point of this message that I want you to understand. I'm going to come back to that. Another reason that you're not getting to your destination is because you're saying you don't have the support of your friends or your family. Why do you need their support? If you have a vision, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, why are you waiting for somebody else? You already have it. You have to start taking those steps forward. Do you think they came to you or are they waiting for your opinion of how to live their life? Of how to fulfill their dreams? No. Why are you waiting on them? We have to stop making these excuses. And we have to stop thinking that somebody is going to come and save the day. We have to use what we have. We have to put it out into the atmosphere. We have to know that what we are doing, it will be successful. We have to step out on that faith. And success may not mean viral. It may not be millions of dollars up front. But success is each step that you take towards that goal. I had to think back and think, what have I ever failed at? I haven't failed. There have been roadblocks. I have changed directions. I have made detours. I have made U-turns. I have taken shortcuts. Not too many shortcuts. It's always usually the long route. But I've always made a way, and each time I'm making progress. But we tend to think that progress is a straight line, but it's not. Progress is not going to be a straight line. You think that you took 3 steps back? No. You were going the wrong direction. That was correction. That was correction. Continue along that path. I want you all to know that we are our own worst enemies. What's holding us back? We are. You are holding your own self back. In my scenario, I am holding my own self back. I had a friend who they would always blame other people. Yes, other people did cause harm and they caused pain. But what happens is if you just continue to blame them, Because most of the time we've seen the red flags. We felt it in our intuition that that wasn't the right decision, or maybe we shouldn't have done that, or maybe we shouldn't have went with them there. There was something that told us not to, but we did it anyway. But we hold that story in our mind, that experience, that pain, and we hold on to it because they haven't said they apologized. They haven't said it was their fault. They haven't came and said they're sorry and they want to make it right. And so you spend all this time waiting for someone else to correct it before you move forward. No, you have to move forward. You have to say, okay, I played a part in that. Okay, I needed to go through that, so I won't go through that at a later age. I'd rather go through that in my 20s than in my 30s and my 40s. I'm thankful for that because now I know the signs of this and that. We have to stop using things as a crutch and holding on to it as in our safety net, which really isn't safe. It's actually confinement. It's not safety, it's confinement. You are trapped in your own mind, in your own thinking. It happens to us all. In one way or another, it could be financially, it could be spiritually, it could be in your relationships, it could be at your job. What's holding you back? Maybe you're upset because you did mess up and now you have a record. And now it's hard to get a job. Okay, I say keep applying. Keep going. Can you do DoorDash in the meantime? I mean, when we don't have any money, when we don't have enough funds, we have to start thinking of side things to do. I've worked at corporate and had a serving job before because that was daily money. And I enjoy serving. I enjoy fulfilling people's needs. I enjoy anticipating what my table needs. I like giving them things before they have to ask. That's how I make my money. I knew when they didn't want to be bothered with me coming and checking on them all the time. And I knew the ones who wanted that. I knew the ones who didn't want me to continue to refill their tea or their coffee because they had to keep putting sweet and low in there. See, you have to analyze. You have to do things with passion and with love and for the other person. And that's how you get ahead. We have to put our ego to the side. It's okay to have a second job. It's okay to drive DoorDash on the side or Lyft on the side. We have to do what we have to do legally now. I'm only speaking legally. If that's going to get us ahead. You have to put your ego to the side if you're trying to get ahead. And I'm mostly speaking financially right now because I know times are hard and I hear in the news so many people who are losing their jobs. So I know it's hard. And not everyone has a 401k or a pension that they can dig into at the moment. But we all still have dreams and aspirations. And so my question to you tonight is, what's holding you back? Are you doubting yourself? Are you fearful of the future? And if you can see all of the examples that I'm giving you, whether it's about you getting the promotion or not, whether if you have the equipment for a podcast or not, if you are trying to cook and you don't have the customers, whatever it is, Everything that I have said all have one thing in mind, and that is how we look at it. We are our own setbacks. We have to change our mindset. We have to be resourceful. We have to get creative. We have to look at the people around us to see, okay, what do they need that I can provide in order to get me here? We can become so focused on the end goal that we forget that we need to get to that next step. You got to keep the lights on. You got to keep the mortgage paid. Yes, you're trying to do all this other stuff, but you got to keep this other stuff going first. What's holding you back? Here's another thing. Are you waiting for someone else to lead you? There are people out there that don't want to take the next step because they want to be accompanied by someone. They want someone to lead them and to hold their hand and to take them. Not everybody is meant for that mission. I have met about 5 people for this year so far, and each person has added something to me. And the important part is adding something back to them, right? Have I done that for each of them? No, but that time will come. I can't wait for that time to come. But right now, it has been a blessing that they have been able to show me something or to teach me something that now I can add, I can use. You see, but you have to get out there. You need to be taking in information. You need to be reading. You have to be introducing yourself to new things. I say all this to say that we are all trying to do better and to be better and to reach this destination. But we come to these roadblocks and we believe that we have to wait for somebody to remove the roadblock before we can go forward. And what I am saying to you is that our mind is that roadblock. We have to find ways to move around that block, to climb over that rock. And we have it. We have it. And we can't think emotionally about it because we don't make the best decisions when we're thinking emotionally. We have to be strategic. We have to be strategic. How long are you going to wait? When is enough enough? How much pressure do you need in order to move forward? Do you have to wait till everything's on the brink? Like how long do you have to wait till what happens? We need to be proactive. Let's stop holding ourselves back. Let's stop looking for others to solve our problems. Let's stop trying to meet everyone else's expectations. I've never really cared about what everyone else thought. I've always been different. I've always done things different. I'm the one who didn't always, let's see, I am a rule follower, but I always try to find ways to make the rule better. Or if the rule doesn't make sense, I'm going to bring to somebody's attention like, this one right here, this one doesn't make sense. Or, hey, no one's following this. Why not make it this? So it's not that I'm a rule breaker, but I do question the rules. I do question authority. And that's what the world needs is our thinkers. We have to think our way through some things. What are you thinking about? What are you strategizing? What is your deadline? If it's losing weight, what is your roadblock? You can't say it's cold anymore because it's getting warmer. The sun is out at 60, at 70. Some days, depending if you're in Texas, it's been 80, 88 degrees on some days. I have to start getting to the gym. I have to start working out. I need to start putting my clothes out and saying, okay, today I am going to. No, I'm not going to wait till Monday. Why are we always waiting till Monday to start something? How long are we going to wait? We need to put a date on it. Put a date on it. We have no sense of urgency. I take that back. We do have a sense of urgency, but it's in our mind. We are just worrying about the urgency. We are not taking action. Are you taking action? Who am I talking to? What do you think is holding you back? So I've always asked myself this, and I guess it depends. Well, I know for sure it depends on if you have children or not. But if I was on the brink of losing my home, let's say I had a 4-bedroom home, but I'm only using 2 bedrooms. Would you rent that other room out? Like, how resourceful are you willing to get? I know there's a need. I'm sure there's a college student. Are you willing to rent that room out, or are you not willing to get uncomfortable? You see, that's the thing. That's the challenge. The challenge is wanting to remain comfortable in the pain, wanting to remain comfortable as you try to reach that destination. Sometimes we have to carpool. Sometimes we have to say, hey, are you going this direction? Sometimes we have to share our resources. Hey, you can use my sugar, but can I borrow your salt? My last episode was about chaos creates collaboration. This is part of it, right? I'm not really speaking about the chaos. I'm speaking about the dreams and the goals. But it does come down to collaboration and also collaborating with ourselves. We have to get our mind collaborating with our actions. Some of us do more time thinking and researching and reviewing and commenting than we do walking it out, practicing it out, taking those steps. What's holding you back? It's not the job. You can get another job or you can create another job. It takes time, but what's your plan? Are you writing it out? When is the last time you've written what you wanted? Sometimes you have to see that thing, not just mentally, because we can only hold so much in our mind. And what I have learned is that if I start writing out things that's crossed my mind, that I'm trying to accomplish or what I'm going through, it takes the weight off of my mind. I sleep better because I've taken it out of here and I put it on paper. Now I have more room for more ideas, more creativity. Free yourself. Free yourself. Sometimes we have to do the hard work now so it will be easier later. It is grind time, baby. It is grind time. I hear about the soft life. I'm not there yet, and you need to quit acting like you are. Not everyone has that luxury of the soft life. Work hard now so you can achieve that. What's holding you back? The answer is you. The answer is us. We are. Be mindful. Be aware. I have my shirt on now. Be mindful. Be aware of what you're telling yourself. Be aware of the thoughts that you're putting in your own head. As soon as you feel yourself going down that road, spiraling to the negative side, you need to identify and say, no, let me put another idea. Replace that thought. Replace that thought and watch all the goodness come to you. It's an attraction thing. It's an attraction thing. And you know what else? We can feel like we've made a mistake, and then we kick ourselves forward and we get upset at ourselves for making that mistake. But what I have learned, and I said this on a previous episode, is that I bought a hybrid car. I didn't realize it, but it was in 2020. I bought it from an auction. We did get it home. We were able to drive it home, but there was a problem with the battery, the regular battery. But even with that battery, it was still something wrong with it. And so we said, okay, it's got to be the hybrid battery. And that hybrid battery was $2,000 to get fixed. Well, we were in no rush because we already had another car. It wasn't until that other car broke down 5 years later. So yes, that other car did sit in our driveway for all those years. But the other car broke down, and we said, okay, it's time to get this other one fixed. And so I was upset at myself because I had bought this car from the auction. I did not go and check it out beforehand. I know. But I did do the Carfax and all that, and I didn't see anything. At least it wasn't reported. And so I was mad at myself because I had spent all this money on this car and it didn't work. The blessing was that I didn't need it at the time, really, because my kids were able to share a car. They both were able to get to school and back and to their jobs and back. So thankfully, it wasn't urgent, but I was upset at myself that I did get the car. And I was like, I hope it's not a limit. It's just this part, and it's so expensive. And so just this month, I had called a company or a mechanic that I had already researched years ago and said, okay, I'm going to try them out because they have great reviews. And so I finally called them and said, hey, I have this car. I really don't know what's wrong. I believe it's the battery. And I want to tow it out to you. Now, mind you, it was an hour away. But I didn't want to have to tow it there and they say it's something else wrong with the car. You see how you start putting more things into your mind? But that's what I did. I said I didn't want to tow it out there and it not just be the battery, but it be all these other things. And then I don't have the money to pay for it. And so I have to get it towed back. I didn't want those hassles. So I said, I knew that they had a service where they'll come to you and install this hybrid battery. So that's what I scheduled. He said, yes, we'll do that, but it costs more. I said, okay, that's fine. I'd rather do it that way than having to tow it there, then maybe have to tow it back. And so they came out and they said, oh, it's not the battery. It's actually the inverter. So I was like, okay. And so the guy was like, yeah, the inverter is a third of what you were going to pay. He said it's usually around $300 something. And here I am thinking I had to pay, several $1,000s. So I'm like, oh, great, thank you. And so I called and told them, hey, they said that, your mechanic said that it's not the battery's inverter and yay, it's cheaper. He was like, actually, no, because for that year, it's actually $2,000. If it was, for a year prior, it would only been $300 or $400. So I'm like, okay. So I thought I was actually going to save some money, but I ended up having to spend the same amount I thought I was going to have to spend originally for the battery anyway. So he said, let me figure out if I can get you any discounts since we've already came out there and now they have to come out there again. So I said, okay, do you know that they contacted me back and said, hey, for that make and model car, that hybrid battery is on manufacturer's warranty. You just have to go down to the dealership and they will replace it for free. Can you believe that? That car had been sitting in my driveway for almost 5 years. I thought I had made the biggest mistake. And see, that's what happens in life. We make decisions and we think that it is to our detriment and we regret it and we get upset and we kick ourselves for it. But that can actually be a blessing. It just looks like it right now. You got to brush that thing off and see that diamond shine. It's not just, a rock. It's not just glass. It's a diamond. Had I went and tried to get it fixed when I got the car, the warranty wasn't even a thing yet. They hadn't even noticed that, there was a defect in that part. So I would have ended up paying. But because I waited all those years, there was now a warranty for that car, for that part. And it was covered. I didn't have to pay anything for that. And thankfully, there was nothing else, majorly wrong with the car. So my message for that story is we all make mistakes, but we all make decisions, I will say. But we never know how that decision is going to end. Yes, it looks like a mistake, but really it's for your good. There's something you're going to get out of that. There's something that you're going to learn from that. There's something that is going to be good on the other side. There's going to be a dessert. It's like your vegetable. As a kid, you didn't really want to eat your vegetables and your cooked carrots. I couldn't stand cooked carrots. But after that, there's a dessert that's coming. And so we just have to push through that part. That sunshine will come. And I can't wait for us all to see it. There's a rainbow waiting for you. You are going to meet that goal. You are going to reach that destination in full tact. You will be intact. You will be whole. You will have learned some things along the way. And you will also have learned how to release things along the way. We have to stop holding ourselves back. That's all I want you to know today. No longer will we continue to blame anyone else for where we are or what we don't have or what we need or where we're trying to be that we haven't reached yet. It is up to us. And it is up to us to open our mouths and to speak out what we need and to put our egos to the side. And so you will see, if you follow me, go to YouTube, KimUnitySolutions.com, and you will start seeing videos that I recorded that I never did put out. Maybe because I didn't think my hair was right, or maybe because they say, you waited too long to put it out. But if I believe it's about the message, then it needs to come out. We have to stop letting someone else's mindset and thoughts and their way of doing things stop us from what we believe is needed. Because everyone doesn't see your vision. Those are your eyes. You were given that vision, and you have to be strong and steadfast in what you believe. So I say tune in. Tune into the KimUnity Soulutions YouTube. Go to my website, and I will be posting older clips, older videos, interviews that I did in person on the spot where I had to push myself because I didn't want to ask questions. I wanted to, but because I hadn't really done it before. But that's what growth is. Growth is doing it where you are. Growth is doing it with what you have. And so I'm not going to just tell you that, I'm going to show you. I am Kim the SME. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have thought about what is holding you back. And I hope that you are able to see that it's you. Because once you see that it's you, that means that you can make that change. If you believe that it's somebody else holding you back, then that means you have to wait on them. What if they don't want to release you? Release yourself. Peace and blessings, y'all. I am your host, Kim the SME. As always, I am only speaking from my experiences. Also, check out my website and buy some merch. Be mindful. You never know what somebody is going through. That's on the back. Be understanding. Extend grace and empathy. Until next time, you all be blessed. Bye.